You know what perjury is, right?
Fyre Festival promotion. Promoted by social media stars, taking place on an island in the Bahamas with quality music and meals by celebrity chefs, the luxury Fyre Festival sounded too good to be true. And it was.
It felt like they were basically doing a music festival to like draw attention to this like bigger brand that would end up being like the Uber of booking talent.
When attendees arrived at the 2017 event, none of the promises matched what was advertised. This caused massive outrage among those who splashed out their cash.
Look at the beds! Oh, look at the beds!
Jesus.
So the organizers, Billy McFarland and Jerul, were issued with several lawsuits for their deception. While the latter was removed from some suits, McFarland lost a case in 2018 as two attendees won $5 million. The social media stars were also sued for not stating they were paid to advertise the event. In 2020, Kendall Jenner paid a $90,000 settlement for her involvement.
The settlement that Kendall entered into will probably set a precedent and will cause other celebrities to seek similar settlement deals where they would get to pay less than half of what's paid to them to actually promote the concert.
Kathleen Turner. Sometimes, when it comes to celebrity memoirs, there might be lies in them to boost intrigue and sales. However, when their dishonesty goes too far, it can cause a lot of problems.
I'm a grown woman with a lifetime of experiences you can't understand.
Yeah, girls mature faster than guys.
In 2008, Turner's memoir was published. Within, she detailed a story that when working on the 1986 film Peggy Sue Got Married, co-star Nicolas Cage had too much to drink, resulting in him getting arrested for stealing a dog and twice for DUIs.
You're gonna blow it, Peggy Sue. No one treats Charlie Bodell like this.
The passage was also printed in the UK newspaper, the Daily Mail. Cage issued a suit against Turner for defamation. After the case was ruled in his favor, Turner apologized for her lies and gave a donation to the National Adult Protective Services Foundation.
Charlie, I'd like to invite you over to your house for dinner on Sunday with your kids. I'll make a strudel.
Clifford Irving. In 1970, writers Irving and Richard Susskind came up with a plan. With millionaire Howard Hughes having been a recluse for years, they were going to write his autobiography, even getting friends to forge letters from the former film producer.
Did Clifford Irving meet with Hughes and tape 30 hours of conversation with him? Or did he come upon the material, the transcripts of Hughes' memoirs, from some other source? I just don't know.
The duo believed Hughes wouldn't realize what happened. Irving then went to his publisher, McGraw-Hill, to trick them into believing Hughes had requested Irving to ghostwrite it. However, when news broke of the upcoming release of the autobiography, Hughes didn't stay silent. Instead, he publicly stated he hadn't met Irving or agreed to the book. A suit was filed by Hughes against McGraw-Hill as Irving was investigated. After admitting their guilt, Irving, Susskind, and others involved all spent time in jail for fraud. Wagatha Christie. In the UK, the tabloids love gossip about footballers and their WAGs, meaning wives and girlfriends. However, for a while, Colleen Rooney, wife of Wayne, noticed stories and private posts were ending up in the media.
Stories about her desire for a baby girl, a possible return to television, and her house flooding.
There was a leak in the WAGs. Playing investigator, she allowed one person to view her posts, which still ended up in the papers. That account belonged to Rebecca Vardy, wife of Jamie.
It's really sad because I for one, can't believe Becky Vardy would do this, why she would jeopardise her friendships, her character.
After Rooney announced this in 2019, Vardy was livid, resulting in her suing her former friend in 2020 for defamation. In 2022, the court ruled against Vardy, issuing Rooney's statement to be true.
The defendant succeeded in establishing that the essence of the libel was substantially true.
Paying Rooney a fine and the legal fees cost Vardy £3 million. She attempted to appeal the costs, but it was dismissed. Tasha K. Specializing in celebrity news and gossip, Latasha Keeb, also known as Tasha K, took aim at Cardi B in 2018. She released one video after another on her YouTube channel, criticizing the rapper for all sorts. This included claims that Cardi had used illegal substances, had contracted multiple STDs, had cheated on her then husband, and that her child would be born with special needs. After enduring these allegations, in 2019, Cardi issued a lawsuit against Keeb for defamation. In 2022, the court ruled Keeb was liable. This resulted in Cardi receiving around $4 million in damages and legal fees from the blogger.
You know, they're looking at it from their perspective, and so, you know, perception is everything. So yeah, that's all I got to say on that, you know.
Keeb attempted to file for bankruptcy, which was rejected. In 2025, a payment plan was agreed upon between the two for $1.2 million. Money. James Frey. In 2005, after being recommended by Oprah's book club on The Oprah Winfrey Show, Frey was at the pinnacle of his career. The work promoted was his 2003 memoir, A Million Little Pieces, which detailed his history with substance abuse.
Many of my staff were moved to tears.
I thought of my brother and I thought of his death.
However, as more people checked it out, questions began to arise about its accuracy.
I've struggled with the idea of it and
the lie of it.
As it turned out, it wasn't factual. Further interviews and an appearance back on Winfrey's show saw Frey admit to several fabrications and exaggerations, which he apologized for. The author and publisher Random House then worked out a legal agreement, setting aside $2.35 million for lawsuits, which only a little over 1,700 readers claimed.
You know, I made a mistake, and and at a certain point, it came time to pay for it.
Jussie Smollett. In 2019, the world was in shock over the senseless hate crime attack against Empire actor Smollett, all of which was caught on surveillance cameras. However, when the police investigated, the truth soon emerged.
Empire actor Jussie Smollett is in police custody after turning himself in overnight. He is accused of faking a hate crime after his story of being attacked by racists fell to pieces.
The cops claimed Smollett had paid two brothers, Abimbola and Olabinho Usundaro, for publicity. In 2022, after being found guilty on several counts, the actor was sentenced to 150 days in jail.
Let me tell you, Mr. Smollett, I know that there is nothing that I will do here today that can come close to the damage you've already done to your own life.
On top of this, the city of Chicago, Illinois, where the hoax happened, sued Smollett for over $130,000 for the investigation costs. In 2025, the suit was settled after he agreed to pay $50,000 to a local charity. The Usundaro brothers also attempted to sue Smollett and his legal team for defamation, which was later dismissed.
I still want to believe, with everything that has happened, that there's something called justice.
Lance Armstrong. For years, allegations about Armstrong's doping had tainted his cycling legend, despite his disputing them.
I don't think any sports team or any athlete has ever come under this kind of scrutiny.
Yet nothing concrete happened. That changed in 2012, when the United States Anti-Doping Agency charged him with running a doping ring, stripping Armstrong of records and wins, as well as banning him from professional sport. After he admitted to the crime in an interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2013, this opened him up to a whistleblower lawsuit from former teammate Floyd Landis, who previously been found to have doped and had pointed the finger at Armstrong's ring.
You're saying Lance Armstrong is a liar?
Yes, I suppose if that's the question, yes.
The US government joined in, looking for $100 million. In 2018, the case was settled with Armstrong agreeing to pay $5 million.
And then the ultimate crime is the betrayal of these people that supported me and believed in me, and they got lied to.
Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. After tying the knot in 2015, a year later, this Hollywood couple were divorced, as Heard accused Depp of abuse, which he denied.
When it comes to domestic violence or violence of any sort, I think your reputation is going to take a hit.
After alluding to this again in an op-ed with the Washington Post in 2018, Depp issued a lawsuit for defamation. In 2022, when the trial got underway, it dominated social media as accusations of abuse from both sides rained down.
It's insane to hear heinous accusations of violence.
In the end, the jury concluded that Heard lied about Depp, awarding him $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
However, they also awarded Heard $2 million in compensatory damages from Depp. Both parties appealed the damages, which resulted in a settlement, with Heard paying $1 million.
You still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation. You cannot tell me
that you think that this has been fair.
Alex Jones. In 2012, Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut experienced a horrible tragedy when Adam Lanza took over 20 lives.
I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do.
While most of the country was in shock and offered condolences, Jones had a more sinister approach. He leaned into conspiracy theories, claiming it didn't happen and it was staged by actors.
This town, in churches like the United Methodist Church behind us, well, the lights are on and they are still open for prayer tonight.
In 2018, the victims' families issued lawsuits against him for defamation. Despite Jones going back on his false theory and admitting the tragedy happened, he lost a series of suits, resulting in him having to pay damages totaling over $1 billion.
Especially since I've met the parents and it's 100% real.
While he went into bankruptcy proceedings, the families offered to settle the case for $85 million or the sale of his assets. However, a judge blocked this in 2025. Did the celebrities we mentioned in this video deserve to be sued or not? Let us know below.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them.